Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is the ASAP Real Talk from the All Sports All Plays Network. This is your boy Freddie Henderson. I'll be your host tonight. Right next to me is my brother Chris Brown. What's going on, Chris?
What's going on? Y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Glad to be here. Glad to be back on Real Talk with the guys. I know it's been a lot that's been going on in the NFL and NBA. We got some hot topics to discuss for y'all today.
All right, right next to him, we got Kenny. What's going on, Kenny?
What's up? Good to be back off a break, ready to talk some NFL and talk some NBA. Let's get to it.
And right next, under him, we have Mike. Mike on the mic. He's, kind of pumped up. He's kind of excited. He's happy. He's been ready to do a show ever since we took the break.
Yes, sir. Bro, y'all see that intro? Bro, that was my first time ever seeing it. That was pretty dope. I ain't even going to lie to you.
There you go. Then we have a guest, special guest, Mr. Charles Richardson. He's going to be on, talk some NFL. What is going on, Charles? How you doing tonight?
Not bad. I noticed Mike went ahead and took off his Bulls uniform. I guess he really got my message there.
Relax, bro. Keep right there, man.
you just set him up. You threw him alley-oop.
No, actually, you're better off wearing that Charlotte Hornet jersey back there. To be honest with you,
hey, don't worry, bro. The new ball jersey's coming. That's
yes, it is.
Right there.
Yes, it is.
Oh, boy.
Get yourself
Relax, don't get carried away off of Summer League.
Oh, he's coming, but I'm not talking about Jello, though. I'm not.
Okay.
I was talking about Jello, but
you gotta relax.
Why I gotta relax? He playing better than some of their draft picks. He deserve it two-way. He doesn't.
I got two words for you: Kyle Kuzma.
Okay, Kyle Kuzma just got paid, and he's on. Kyle Kuzma just got paid, and he has a ring.
I'm just
all right, y'all. Let's get into this, man. Hey,
let's get to the NFL.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call this been ready to come back. I'm ready. Hey, I got new ammunition for each and one of you guys. Just let you know.
Freddie, nobody's scared of you. Nobody's scared of you. You lost every single debate.
Not worried.
Nobody's worried about anything you got. So
you better be scared of me. But let's get to it. Let's start with a NFL hot take. We'll start with Kenny on this one. Kenny, give us a hot take.
All right, Chris, you're gonna love this one.
Mm-hmm.
So my hot take is your head coach. I hope I say his name right. Sirianni.
Yeah.
He is waiting for Deshaun Watson trade to go through before he names his starting quarterback. I think he's hemming and hawing and not. He's really not being decisive and making Jalen Hurts the number one because he's waiting to see what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. And I think that's what's keeping him from naming Jalen Hurts the number one quarterback, because there's no way that he can not be the number one quarterback if that's who you're going into the season with, because there's no way you're starting Joe Flacco. So the fact that he's not being decisive or being clear about Jalen Hurts being the number one quarterback tells me that they're waiting for the shoe to drop with Deshaun Watson. So
why not start Joe Flacco though? I mean, come on, Brady's starting at 44 years old.
Joe Flacco
can still play, I'm sure, right? He has to earn another 5-year, $100 million contract sooner or later.
If Joe Flacco starts week 1, I'm not watching. I can tell you that straight up.
Flacco needs to go to the CFL. He'll start anywhere up there.
I heard a stat today that in his last 21 starts, Joe Flacco was 6-15. That should tell you everything you need to know.
All right, Mike, give us a hot take, my friend.
All right, this is coming straight from Chicago. I'm telling you right now, I don't care what it's named. This man behind me, Justin Fields, is starting week 1 for the Bears. After preseason, he will be starting week 1.
All right.
Chris, makes sense.
Chris, give us a hot take.
Todd Gurley might be his last year in the NFL, sadly.
He's still playing?
Look. You say that, right? And there's running backs like Derrick Henry, who's older than Todd Gurley. But you would never know because Todd Gurley had a huge workload when he came into the NFL. Now he's 27. Everybody said he has busted knees, and you know your label and your reputation means everything, especially in this business, especially as a running back. So if you get labeled as a guy that can't do it no more, no team is going to pick you up. I feel like, sadly, Todd Gurley is not going to be in the league much longer. If you ask me, he's better than a lot of running backs. He could be good on a lot of teams like the Buffalo Bills who really need some help in the running game. I just feel like once your reputation is something, it's hard to get that label off. You know, I think Todd Gurley has got that label like a DeMarco Murray where it's just like, yes, you're done early.
And
yeah, I hear Gurley would probably be doing real well as a water boy. I think he would make a lot of money doing that.
He's way better than a water boy. I don't know about
okay, power boy.
He deserves to be on a roster.
Arthritis too, right? He still has that?
Yeah, I think that's his problem is that he don't have that cartilage in his knees, so he's got that bone-on-bone action going on. Yeah.
But wait a second, somebody else had that. What is it, Julian Edelman? And what is he doing? He's retired. So yeah, I think he needs to follow suit.
Julian Edelman was in his 30s.
Come on now.
Edelman was in his 30s and played multiple more seasons.
It don't matter. Age don't matter. When you got nothing between those knees, forget about it.
All right, Charles, give us a hot take.
I say Carson Wentz is going to be comeback player of the year.
Oh, wow.
He's coming back right now.
Well, I'm saying he's actually going to be in a better system. He's not going to be injured. He's
already injured right now. he already broke his foot.
He won't be there in the regular season.
Okay.
Hey, Charles, let me break this down to you.
I think Mac Jones is actually going to start for the Patriots.
Charles, let me break this down to you. The reason why Chris came at you that way, Chris is a Philadelphia Eagles fan that let Carson Wentz break his heart. And so,
first of all, Freddie, don't speak on me because everything you said was false. So
you're not hurt because of Carson Wentz?
Why would I be hurt?
Oh, okay.
Why would I be hurt?
You won a Super Bowl against us without Carson Wentz.
Listen, if you don't know, Freddie's a New York Packers fan, and he wants everybody to root for two teams just like him. I'm a full-on Eagles fan. Now, was I upset that my team traded away a guy you pay a lot of money to? Yes, but do I care if Carson Wentz my starting quarterback? No, because I like Jalen Hurts, so it doesn't bother me.
All right, let me go ahead and get my hot take before we go and get to the topics.
You talking about the Packers or the Giants?
Ladies and gentlemen, while we was on break, the Green Bay Packers finally made an agreement with Aaron Rodgers to void out the rest of his back end of his contract to bring him for the rest of this season. They brought in Randall Cobb, in for this final run. So I'm going to go ahead and predict this, man. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the MVP, back-to-back MVP this year, and they're going to finally get over the hump. They're going to win the Super Bowl. I believe this is going to be the year that they win the Super Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers is going to piece up out from Green Bay. That's my hot take.
That's cap. That's so cap, bro. The problem with that, and I'll tell you straight up, and it has nothing to do. Aaron Rodgers, bro, he's a dog. Devontae Adams, a dog. Aaron Jones, a dog. That defense is slight. Matt LaFleur, good. But right now, they're missing their starting left tackle, their starting center, and their starting right guard. And they're out for longevity. 2 aren't returning. 1, there's no timetable on them. Aaron Jones ain't going to get nothing going back there. And Aaron's very delicate, and you know that. So we'll see what happens with Aaron. We'll see how much he really wants to play after getting banged up the entire year. I think even though that contract's set right now, that he's going to finish out the year, we'll see what really happens.
Can we just talk about how Freddie said my Green Bay Packers?
No.
But before the break, he said he's rooting for the Giants. But before the break, he said he's rooting for the Giants. But now it's my Green Bay Packers.
Not
like,
surprised. This is par for the course.
That's why I can't listen to it. That's why I can't take him serious.
It's my Aaron Rodgers.
Y'all know what I mean. I mean,
No, you said what you meant. This is why we don't take you serious.
Discount double check, everybody. Discount
Listen,
double check.
you root for the team that suits you best.
That's what he
Exactly.
He
He roots for the team that suits him best. We all know that.
You know, why in the world would somebody with Rodgers' prestige go ahead and just talk about never coming back to the Packers, never coming back? I'm done with Green Bay, y'all. I want Jeopardy. Let's go ahead and take Jeopardy. I don't want to be with Green Bay anymore. All of a sudden he returns. Why? What was the point in all that? Now I don't believe anything he says.
Well, I mean,
he's trying to throw the guy, Freddie.
You do have to realize these guys at the end of the day, they love playing football. That's what they love to do. And when you playing for a franchise with the Green Bay Packers, that shows how stubborn that they was willing to be. That they was against trading him, and they decided, you know what, we're going to find a way to work it out with you. We're going to work a deal with you and then Chris, there go Chris, finds a way to work them out. I mean, hey, the dude loves playing football at the end of the day. So, I'm sorry, Chris. Throw it out there. We all know what's up.
No, I was going to say, I think he just tried to pull a power play.
Right.
And he wanted to see if he can, use his leverage and try to force the Packers' hands. And then once he realized that they weren't going to move him, like you said, Freddie, he wanted to play football at the end of the day. So basically, I think they just compromised on this. One way or the other, this is Aaron Rodgers' last year in Green Bay.
The Packers screwed up. They could have got the number 3 pick. They could have got the number 9 pick. They could have got so many draft picks and players back for Aaron Rodgers, and instead they decided to bring him back when he doesn't want to be back. I would have got rid of him. I would have started my rebuild now. You always want to start your rebuild before it's too late. And right now it's looking like it's going to be too late.
Let me ask you all this. Bringing Randall Cobb in obviously sounds like it's an olive branch from the Packers. Do you think this relationship is mended, or is there still major cracks?
Well, it's major cracks. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go, Kenny.
No, I was saying that I think you nailed it. That it was an olive branch, and this is putting the band back together for one more run. Exactly. I think that's what Randall Cobb is. Just putting the band back together for one last run, and then we out of here.
So what do you think happens to Rodgers in 2022? Do we think he's gone? Do we think he goes to another team?
Somebody makes a move for him.
Yeah.
Somebody's making a move for him.
He's not finishing his career in Green Bay.
Yeah, he has a lot of football left. If Tom Brady can play how long he's playing, Aaron Rodgers could play even longer.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers doesn't look like the guy who eats avocado ice cream. I'm just saying.
Hey, and look out for the team, New Orleans Saints. You know that Michael Thomas situation going on up down there? Hey, he said, I'm going to sit out this year, and I bet you if there's rumors, if Rodgers decide to go to New Orleans, do not be surprised if Michael Thomas come back.
Right.
That.
I think it's really interesting, and to a point that you guys made, like that last dance with Randall Cobb. I know we're talking about football right now, but it feels a lot like when the Cubs were like, okay, we're going to bring in Jake Arrieta, we're going to bring back David Ross, and we're going to run it back one last time. But then you see mid-season, when them numbers aren't there, the whole team just gets blown up mid-season. And I feel like even though guys aren't going to get traded mid-season, I feel like a lot of personalities are going to start showing. Like Devontae Adams is going to start expressing his feelings. Aaron Rodgers is going to start expressing his feelings. And I think that might change a lot of narratives, like Freddie said. Like, where is he going to go? Because, when he first came out with it, it was what? New England, Denver, Las Vegas, and, like, somewhere else that he wanted to go. But the more options that, these guys are coming up with, like, Trey Lance was one of them. The Raiders are trying things with Carr still. Like, the Saints definitely could still be an option with that. And they're going to be having the cap space very soon to be able to get someone like that. So I think it's going to be really interesting.
All right. Let's move to the next topic. On this edition of Real Talk, Mondays, we're going to cover the NFC. And the Thursdays, we're going to cover the AFC. We have 4 weeks left to the NFL season start. On today, we're starting with the NFC South. So let's get it rolling. We'll go to Chris on the first one. Chris, do you think Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers should be the heavy favorite to win the Super Bowl this upcoming season?
Heavy favorite, I don't know. Favorite, yes, because they're defending champions, and they're, I think I got to look at the stat, but I know they're one of the only teams ever to bring back all starters from the previous year they won the championship. So should they be considered a favorite? Yes, but the heavy favorite means that nobody can beat them. That means they're going to go undefeated. That means they're going to roll over every single team they play. I don't think that's going to happen. I think a lot of teams got better. Look at, the Kansas City Chiefs. The offensive line got better. They improved their team. We saw how good they were. I'm looking at teams like the Browns. Not saying they're going to beat the Buccaneers, but they got better. There's a lot of teams in the NFL that got better. So just to say that the Buccaneers are going to destroy everybody, I cannot say that. But do I think they should be classified as the favorites? I mean, in my opinion, if a team wins the championship and they bring back the same guys, then they have to be the favorite.
All right, we'll go with you, Charles. Do you think they should be the heavy favorites?
I kind of like them the way they are. They're like he just mentioned, bringing back all 22 starters. You're looking at Tom Brady. The guy knows how to win anyway. Now he's going to Tampa Bay. He went to Tampa Bay because they had the most amazing wide receiver core there, with a decent offensive line, with a crappy quarterback. Take out the crappy quarterback, put in a Hall of Famer who knows how to get things done and win. Even with no preseason, struggled a little bit early on, he came on fire. Imagine how this kid is going to be. And I call him kid. He's 44 years old. Imagine how everybody's going to be with a full preseason on their backs. Full preseason, going in strong. I don't say destroying everybody, but I definitely see a first-round bye in there. I definitely see that. And listen, Brady has 3 more fingers to get rings on. He's hungry.
Kenny?
Oh yeah, that definitely. They're the favorites. I'm just of the mindset, or my only concern is going to be health, because as long as we found out that Tom Brady played with a torn MCL last year, and I don't care. Father Time is going to catch up to him at some point. He's held it off as probably longer than anyone else has, but Father Time is going to catch up to him at some point. So that would be my only concern is will they be able to remain healthy? Because they have the talent. There's no question in terms of the talent and the depth that they have. This is a matter of health. So if they're healthy, then they got to be the favorites.
But I don't see Brady having to pull as much weight as he did in some of the championships like he did in New England, where he had to make 2 B and C type receivers all-stars. He's already got that.
He has a top 5 defense. He has a top 5 defense.
I understand. It's just, with football, all it takes is one play. So
that's true. That's true. I agree with you.
So
and
that's my only thing. Because if they're healthy, there's no question. Like I said, they have enough talent to dominate. So it's just a matter of
Kenny, you better be careful. Tom Brady's going to tweet at you. You don't talk about his age and
the facts are the facts, man. The dude is 44 years old.
All I know is my team beat him in the Super Bowl. That's good.
Give him any
reason. Beat him last year too, but...
Seriously, give him any freaking reason that you're going to kick his butt, and that just gives him more motivation. Please, talk trash about him. That makes the Super Bowl just that much easier.
All right, Mike. Yeah, you don't want to poke the bear. That's what Charles saying. Don't poke the bear.
Please poke.
Well, hey, I'm a Cowboys fan. We got a week 1, so
any real competitor is going to poke the bear. Only punks back down. Any real competitor. That's why you see Chase Young as a rookie. Said I want to sack. He said I want to sack Tom Brady because as a defensive end, you want to sack the best quarterback in the game. So any real competitor is going to poke Tom Brady. It's on Tom Brady to respond.
Right.
You guys see that ring though? You imagine taking the top off and you got the stadium in the ring?
Yeah, that was hard.
That's incredible. They took that ring making to another level this year. And I'm not even a Buck fan. I'm not even a Brady fan anymore. I'm a Patriot fan, but I seen how that ring was. Oh my God, that's incredible.
All right, Mike. Should they be the heavy favorite?
I personally it's one of those things where it's I don't like to do back-to-backs, to make make the champions the favorites, just because how it is for some players. Antonio Brown, I think, is definitely going to be one of those guys who has that hangover from winning the championship. But he's not
literally.
Really so it doesn't matter.
I think he had a hangover after the boat parade.
That's what I'm saying, literally and figuratively. Between him and
I'm
Carl.
gonna stop hating on my guy, AB, man.
I love
You seen how Brady was stumbling around after that boat parade? Antonio was probably laid out somewhere.
You said what?
I said you saw Tom Brady stumbling out of the gates there, drunk off his ass. Antonio was probably right there, passed out somewhere.
Oh, he's probably doing something we can't speak on here. But
I'm gonna stop talking about my man. It be like that, man.
For me, it's one of those things where I think a lot of people sleep on it too. Like their defense did get a little bit worse, but adding Najee Harris, I think if Big Ben is healthy, completely changes the look of the Steelers. I think James Conner was definitely something that lacked. Just that second gear that goes.
Yeah,
Harris is one of those
Are you talking about the Steelers?
Yeah, man. That's an example, bro. You look at the Browns, and you look at all these other teams. You know, Patrick Mahomes is probably pissed that somehow they didn't win that championship. The Bills are getting better. Josh Allen's getting better, like you said, with the Packers. There's the last dance. There's a lot of teams right now that are hungry as well. And with your guys' point about Tom Brady playing injured. Father Time, I don't wish injury upon anybody, but it's always something in the back of your mind. And would Kyle Trask be able to come in right away and perform well? I have no idea. But, yeah, I mean, I definitely think they are the favorites. Would I have them as my favorite? I kind of like to wait a couple weeks in the preseason just because of injuries, just to see how that goes. But as of right now, I would definitely put them as the favorite.
It's not as much fun, Mike. You wait for a couple of weeks to see how the injuries go. No, you got to make that call now. You got to start predicting scores.
I'm a Bears fan, bro. My entire offensive line got destroyed 2 days ago. That's why I wait.
You're a Bears fan. Every quarterback that goes there gets destroyed. So
I'm sorry.
Except for this new one.
No, I think he's going to get destroyed too. I'm sorry.
Justin
I'm
Fields
sorry. He's going to be running for his life. He's going to be wanting to sell popcorn in the stands after the first couple of games.
Oh, wait till Mac Jones, bro. He can't even run.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see about that. I've heard a lot of good things about Mac Jones, but again, he hasn't earned his number 10 yet, so I don't even know if he's. I don't know what to expect, to be honest with you.
Is he still rocking number 50?
He's still doing 50, man. I'm over here wondering if at the first preseason this Thursday he's going to rock 50.
Dude, I'd be pissed. If I was a fan, bro, I'd be pissed. You can't even buy a jersey yet. That's frustrating.
Yeah.
All right, listen, man. The question is, should the Tampa Bay Buccaneers be the heavy favorites? Yes. No, they should be the favorites. But, I mean, it's not going to be as easy as it was last year because you have more teams on the come up. You have, I hate to say it.
was easy last year, Freddie.
Yeah. You got Vegas. You got Vegas putting the Chiefs up on the Bucks.
Chris, I know you over the break you might have lost your hearing problem because I know you've been out on vacation in Florida and the beautiful weather and all that. But just listen to what I'm saying. I
said it's not going to be as easy as last year. Last year was not easy.
It was not easy, but it did. The competition did get harder this upcoming season. If you would have let me finish, sir, because I hate to mention this, and I just hate to me to even have the thought in my head. We have the Cowboys have Dak Prescott coming back in the NFC. You still have the Green Bay Packers, but Aaron Rodgers and them come back. You have, the competition is getting more stout. You have to worry.
Going to do with Stafford.
You don't know what's going to happen with the Rams. You have the 49ers. You have the Cardinals. The NFC is going to be a dogfight. And then the playoffs come, we're going to be able to see can a 44, 45-year-old Tom Brady, will he be able to take it to the next level? Will he be able? And hey, let's say they got lucky this year because you remember that one play that they went into before the halftime that the Packers just let them go.
That wasn't luck. That was football.
It wasn't because
that wasn't luck. That was football. He ran right by him. That's not luck, Freddie. If you were athletic, there's a man beating another man on a football play. Yeah. That's no luck.
I didn't know
I'm talking about the play where it's like 4th and goal or something like that, and then the Green Bay come out there with some whack defense and they just let out. I forgot who the name is.
How is that luck if the Green Bay came out with a whack defense and didn't do that?
That's because if they had a confident coach that knew what he was doing.
But how is that luck?
Yeah.
How is that luck?
The Buccaneers got lucky that the Green Bay Packers did not have a confident defensive coordinator. That sounds
that sounds like a 44-year-old quarterback that actually read a defense and threw the ball where it should be.
That makes no sense. That's go ahead. See what you guys say.
It's luck. Luck is basically
is a tip ball or something. Yeah, a helmet catch or the curse catch against the Patriots with the Seahawks.
Not a clean catch where he goes ahead and hauls it in over the defender and for a touchdown. That's not
y'all not hearing what I'm saying, but
we hear what you're saying. It just makes no sense.
Let's go. I gotta keep my mouth shut on a couple of these things.
Let's go to the next topic now. Should the Bengals fans be concerned with Joe Burrow's slow start? We'll go with Kenny on this one.
I don't know if they should be concerned because he's coming off a serious injury. So, and normally with the ACL, it takes, up to a year before the guy is back to being who he was. So I would say and this is preseason too, and this is training camp. So when the lights are on and when they're keeping score, when the records count, that's when we need to be concerned. Right now, it's about making sure that he's healthy going into this season. So as long as they're doing everything possible to keep him healthy going into the season, then I think that's the most important thing. I wouldn't be concerned right now. I would wait to even. The furthest I would be concerned is probably game 3 because we know that's the dress rehearsal game for all the teams. So if we see him struggling in that game, then maybe that would be the time where I would start to be concerned. But right now, no, I wouldn't be concerned.
All right, Chris, would you be concerned?
No, it's like Kenny said, it's preseason. You're coming back. You come back from a crazy injury that is the coach's fault for having whoever drafts having a terrible offensive line. I wouldn't be concerned. He has. If you look at the wide receivers, if you look at it like a 7-on-7, he has enough wide receivers to be successful. And he showed last year he could be a very good quarterback. The only concern Bengals fans should have is will their offensive line hold up and actually protect them. If they do their job and they're just an average offensive line, Joe Burrow will be fine. Now, if it's weeks, 4 or 5, and he's still showing some inconsistencies, then I'm scratching my head like, listen, you got to pick it up because last year you were playing better than this before this injury. But I think he's going to be fine as long as the offensive line does their job, as long as the running backs can take some pressure off him. With all those weapons he has, I think he's going to be able to do very good.
Yep. Kenny? Not Kenny. I already asked Kenny that. Mike.
It's one of those things where, and you just got to do a lot of reading, and you just got to watch it during training camp right now. From everybody's hearing, he's throwing inconsistent passes. He looks scared, he looks nervous, and he looks like he just doesn't trust his offensive line. So I'm more afraid of how
I wouldn't.
Rather than I wouldn't trust him either. The second you took, and I love Jamar Chase, he's generational. He's an amazing talent. The potential there is sky high, but to not get Penei Sewell after your rookie quarterback, franchise quarterback, just tore his MCL and ACL because of the offensive line problem, I'd be scared out of my mind if I was Joe Burrow. So I'm more concerned about his mental aspect and where he's at with the offensive line and how that's going to affect his game and his decision makings than I really am about his leg. Because we all know medicine has come a long way with ACLs. This isn't like Derrick Rose back in the day where this was just going to continue to keep happening because there was no real timetable on when he should come back. So I'm very confident he will come back and be successful. I just don't know how he's going to play and if this injury and this line is going to affect that.
All right, look like we just got Jake coming into the show, but before you get in there, Charles, give us your opinion on it. Bengals fans should be worried about Joe Burrow slow start to the season?
Like Mr. Chicago Deep Dish over there says, it's if he's going ahead and overthrowing receivers on just 7-on-7s and he's shot putting these other throws and stuff like that, it's all mental. So he's got to go ahead and get over it. But I'd be concerned because this kid has a lot of promise. I don't say he's got the first-class wide receiving corps, but he does have receivers that can catch the ball. He's got to have trust in that. If he doesn't have the confidence, if he doesn't have the trust, he ain't going to perform out there. That's just it. He's going to have some major ED issues after that, and his wife's not going to be happy.
That's hilarious.
What's up, Jay? How you doing, buddy?
My boy.
Are you Jay? You
Audio
muted. Jay, you muted, buddy.
I sure am. My bad. Yeah, I'm good.
What up, boy?
How y'all doing?
Good up at yourself.
Good.
All right, Jay. Should Bengals fans be worried about Joe Burrow's slow start to the season?
I mean, typically you would say yeah. I mean, like he was saying, shot putting the ball, he doesn't look good at all. But I mean, the dude hasn't played in a while. He's coming off of an injury. I mean, you could expect to feel rust. Get back in that throwing that rhythm. You know what I mean, and get back into that. So it's gonna take a little time. Hopefully we'll see him perform a little better maybe when he gets on the field in preseason 1 or preseason 2 week, going from there. But I wouldn't jump the gun as of yet. He's still young, got a long way to go. But again, he's coming off the injury, so it's something you'd expect.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This preseason, I mean, just started, came off a major injury. We all saying the same thing. No need to keep beating the same horse. All right. So let's just go on and go to the next topic, Charles. We'll start with you on this one. How far will the Atlanta Falcons go this season?
They're going to go all the 17 games. They're going to start off 28-3, and they're going to blow it. No. So I had to make that shot. I think it's going to really depend on the Julio Jones non-factor. What are they going to do to replace him? Is Calvin Ridley going to step up? Is Kyle Pitts going to go ahead and be that all-star tight end that Matt Ryan can throw to? They're going to protect him. Defense are going to be stout this year. I mean, it's a real tough question to be honest with you. And everybody here taking these discussions and saying, "Well, it's just preseason. We don't know until like game 2 or 3. We'll find out." If I'm going to make a bold prediction on this one, I say 7-10.
All right, well, John Shug said that Falcons 3 games, they might win. All right, Mike, what's your expectations for the Falcons this year?
It's actually like really disappointing to me, despite them getting Kyle Pitts, who, like I keep saying, is another generational talent. This class was just so deep. I love that they picked him up. I think that's great for Matt Ryan. It's a lot better than Austin Hooper was. And the key thing for me that's disappointing is the fact that you couldn't keep Julio. Because Calvin Ridley, that health with his foot, you really don't know what you have with that. You don't know how healthy he truly is going to be. A lot better than his brother in Chicago, but to each their own. I'm really just concerned about this defense because, like you guys said, 7-10. I think that's very realistic because a top 5 offense could easily win you 7 games at minimum. The same way a top 3 defense can help you win 8 games, like I've seen with the Bears for how many years. But if Calvin Ridley isn't fully healthy, I don't care how good Kyle Pitts is, it's not going to save you from an aging Matt Ryan and Julio Jones being gone. So I really think, it can go from 7 wins to, like they said, 3. I really don't have high expectations for this team.
All right, and Jay?
I agree. The high expectations portions. I think drafting Kyle Pitts and then turning around and get rid of Julio Jones kind of takes away from the effect that bringing Kyle Pitts on that offense was going to have. We're also going to see Matt Ryan seeing a whole different look from defenses now without Julio being out there taking those double teams and shifting the way that they play coverage on them. So I don't see it this year being nothing pretty out there. And I mean, look who's in their division anyways. But let's face it, Atlanta hasn't been good or looked good for a few years anyways. So it's nothing new. It's just going to be a little worse.
All righty, Chris, what's your expectations for the Atlanta Falcons this year?
I mean, I have none. I mean, let's be real. It's not like they're going to be playoff team. They're going to maybe fight to be the 3rd best team in their division. I like the Panthers. The Saints are the Saints, and the Buccaneers are. At the end of the day, I say this really though. Julio Jones, for as great as he is, in my opinion, one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, Chris had some injury problems for these past couple of seasons. Calvin Ridley, the games without Julio Jones, has been able to put his own and do his thing. Now, I'm curious to see how that's going to be for 17 games instead of, maybe 6 games or a season. That's going to be the big question mark. Also, with Julio Jones, when they got to Kyle Pitts is going to look at maybe it's the third. Now he's going to be looking at the second sometimes. So I'm curious to see how that dynamic is going to work. But regardless how it works, their defense is sorry. So, like my guy said, they're going to go up 28-3, and they're going to blow every single game because their defense is sorry. I believe that's going to happen at least a couple of times. They have one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and it's barely been addressed. So, in my opinion, 7 games is a stretch. I see them having another top 5 pick. It's going to be time to rebuild. Then to get some more guys on that defense and look to replace Matt Ryan soon. I don't predict anything special from this Falcons team. If they prove me wrong, they prove me wrong. But they're a one-sided football team in a two-sided division.
All right, Kenny. Is it possible that you think differently, or are you on the same page as everybody else?
Oh yeah, I'm on the same page with everybody else.
Yes.
And I think Mike nailed it. Is that the sad thing is we won't get to see this offense with Julio Jones with it. Because can you imagine this offense with Kyle Pitts, Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley? So the fact of the matter is they did nothing to upgrade their defense. So we don't know, we're pretty much going to probably see the same that we've seen from them, these high-scoring games, these shootouts where they find a way to lose, to Charles's point, lose towards the end of the game. So I don't think it's going to be much of anything different. And honestly, I think they're setting themselves up for a rebuild. I think they're going to come into this and be, maybe a 4 or 5 win team. And this is the last year for Matt Ryan, and they find a way to move on from him and draft a quarterback. So I think this is the last, again, another team with the last run with their quarterback, and it's going to be a rebuild.
How about they trade for Aaron Rodgers? Never mind.
I would be surprised though. I think they want to go young because they got those young pieces. And one other thing too, it's going to be interesting to see, to Chris's point, whether Calvin Ridley we have to find out if he a true number one. We've only seen him in spurts being a number one option.
Yep.
So now that teams are game planning for him, now that he's going to see those bracket coverages, those double coverages, is he going to still be able to put up those numbers without Julio Jones on the outside?
All right. Hey, Charles, Ray Cruz, he asked a question. He said, how good will the Carolina Panthers be this season?
They're going to go up 28-3 and lose. No. So, obviously, new quarterback for Carolina. They got stud receivers that are out there. And Sam Darnold. I mean, the name just doesn't bring any prestige whatsoever. I'm
a Patriots fan. You
probably
hate all things New York.
Well, he's not New York anymore. I don't hate him anymore. So it's like I'm over here thinking, this guy's probably the nerd in geometry. That's what I'm saying. So it's like, what is he going to do? Now, he's put in a situation, and I'm not using, tick for tack here, but he's been put in a situation where his receiving core is improved. He's got a stud in Christian McCaffrey. What are you going to do there, Sam? Are you going to go ahead and make the same bonehead New York plays that you did up there with the Jets? Or are you actually going to go ahead and prove yourself? To be honest with you, I don't have an answer for that because I don't know if we're going to see nerd Sam Darnold or if we're going to see the guy that's banging 10 cheerleaders a night, Sam Darnold. We don't know yet. He's got all the pieces, though. If you don't make it, he's going to be gone pretty quick.
All right, then. John Slick say, first year of the Matt Rule era, the Carolina Panthers went 5-11, but lost 8 of those 11 games by just 1 score. They were competitive on a weekly basis, but just didn't have the experience and depth to close out games. Charles just mentioned about Sam Darnold. Chris, I'm gonna go with you on this one. Do you think, with a new team, new coach, new system, do you think Sam Darnold can change his career around? And let's not forget his coach was Gates. Okay, let's not forget that.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big Sam Darnold guy. I think they didn't draft the same quarterback. The only reason they traded, I'm talking about the Jets right now. The only reason they traded away Darnold is because they could start off with a fresher contract, but they drafted the same guy. I think Sam Darnold was talented, but he had nobody around him. And again, he had arguably the worst head coach in the NFL. I don't expect any young quarterback to thrive under them circumstances. You put him right now with the Panthers, who, like John said, were very competitive last year. I watch almost every single game. I have, 3 different screens on my phone, laptop, TV, watching all these NFL games, and they was competitive and they were in every single game. While I'm mentioning McCaffrey for extended part of the season. So you add back McCaffrey, you have a better wide receiver core than you ever had with the Jets. You have Roby Anderson, who could take the top off the defense, who's a 1,000-yard receiver. You have DJ Moore. You have Terrence Marshall, who was one of my favorite wide receivers. And this is a very deep wide receiver draft, so I knew he would be a steal, second round, late first round. And I'm hearing that he's taking the number 2 wide receiver snaps as a rookie coming in. I'm hearing he's being that productive in camp. Your offensive line is better when you have the Jets. And I look at their defense. They have a pass rusher of Reddick, Brown, Burns. You got a nice young quarterback in Horn. You got, safety drafted last year in Chen and Jackson. I think this team is better. I think Sam Darnold is going to be better. He doesn't have to force anything. He has a better coaching system. He has better players around him, so he's going to be able to thrive. I'm looking at this team right now. I think they can arguably be the second best team in the division. I think they can arguably fight for a wild card. Not saying they're going to do it, but they're going to be a team that, kind of like the Cardinals last year, late towards the season, we're hearing this team that came out of nowhere that's kind of close to fighting for the wild card spot. Jay, you making that face, but there's no difference on this team. The only difference you could say, okay, they got D-Hop, but they got Christian McCaffrey. I think the Panthers are going to be good looking for Sam Darnold. Charles talked about, Wentz being a comeback player of the year. Sam Darnold has a good season. He arguably be comeback player of the
year. I agree. I withdraw my Carson Wentz since I was educated that he was injured. So, and Sam Darnold definitely. But all those players around him, you got to realize they're all starters, and that's if they stay healthy.
I mean, you can say that about every team, though. Every team is if they can be healthy. Like, no offense, but you can say that about the Cowboys. You can say that about my Eagles. You can say that about whatever team Freddie wants to root for. You can say that about the Bears. You can say that about the Cardinals. Sadly, it's if they're healthy, you got to have that mindset. But I try to be objective and just hope that everybody can stay healthy. And if everybody can stay healthy, or at least majority of the season, they have a very good roster on paper.
Sorry about my internet, guys. I don't know what you just said, but I heard something about the Bears, so I'm with it, whatever you said.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, he said the Bears suck, by the way. So
They do.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I think it all, and this is not rocket science. It's all dependent on Christian McCaffrey. If Christian McCaffrey is healthy, then that's going to make life easier for Sam Darnold. He's going to be the ultimate safety valve for him. You could check down to him. You could use him in the running game, use him in the screen game. And that's going to make life easier for Sam Darnold, because the fact of the matter is the time that he was with the Jets, he never really had, they thought Le'Veon Bell was going to be the guy, but that was not the Le'Veon, Pittsburgh Steelers Le'Veon Bell, clearly. So he never really had that running back that was able to establish the running game and keep, the pressure off of him to have to make plays. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to help Sam Darnold, is that he has a pressure release valve for somebody that's going to be able to, control the clock, assuming he stays healthy. So as long as Christian McCaffrey is healthy, I think he has a chance to bounce back. And I think the Panthers have a chance to be competitive, because to me, this could be a 2-team division, because we know that Tampa's a team to beat, but it's about, between Carolina and New Orleans, and we're not sure about New Orleans and their quarterback situation. So if we had to pick a second team in terms of the second best team in that division, it's probably going to be the Carolina Panthers, but it all depends on Christian McCaffrey. Yeah.
On paper, they're good. And looking at I bring this comment up again because this is the same thing I said about the Buccaneers going to time. They went 7-9, but like 6 of the 5 was by a touchdown. Or not saying that Sam Darnold is Tom Brady, but I'm saying you get a better quarterback for your system. You get your running back healthy. Those 5 wins this year could easily be double digits.
All
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay. I see your face screwed.
You already know
You
I
get the
don't.
screw
You already
face.
know how I feel
I know
about
where you
Sam
going.
Darnold. You know, I think they're losing athleticism. I mean, you guys say what you want from Teddy to him. Yeah, Teddy is still to me more athletic than him on the field. And then at the end of the day, he is who we thought he was, guys. He just turned on a new jersey. He just putting on a new jersey. Ain't nothing changed. It's still Sam Darnold throwing the football. So at the end of the day, I mean, I understand his receiving core did get better, but Perriman was doing just fine as well. He looked great. Sam Darnold made him look better. But I mean, he is who he is. He's a 2-star quarterback at best.
Oh wow.
So what's Kyler Murray?
Hey, don't do that.
What's Kyler Murray?
Hey man,
What's Kyler Murray?
No. Are you saying Teddy would have been a better option than Sam Darnold?
I really think Teddy Bridgewater was doing was doing what he was doing last year. Is going to be a better job than what Carolina is going to get from Sam Darnold this year.
Yeah, you got to realize too. Teddy took that team without a preseason.
Yeah,
like with Teddy, that Teddy can win you some games, when healthy. But like with Sam, like because of how bad the Jets are, I can't really tell you what Sam really is. So like I really don't even have an opinion on it. My whole thing, Christian McCaffrey and what Christian McCaffrey can bring to that team. If Christian's healthy, that brings a lot of heat off of Sam, and I definitely think Sam can perform a lot better. But if Christian plays a total of like 3 games again, something like that, I couldn't tell you.
I just want to figure out if Sam Darnold's a 2-star. What is Kyler Murray? That question has yet been answered.
I said a 4-star. I said at least a 4-star. But listen, at the end of the day,
without a doubt,
if
Kyler Murray is the Hilton, last year, Sam Darnold's a Motel 6.
He might be 4 feet tall, but that kid is a 4-star. That kid is a dog.
At minimum. But no.
Well, that's why Jay is riding with him anyway. They about the same height. That's why you ride with him. That's his team.
If Christian McCaffrey's healthy all year last year, does Teddy Bridgewater even? Did they move on from Teddy? Ask yourselves that. If Christian McCaffrey plays the whole year last year, are they able to move on from Teddy still?
Depends on how they perform.
I saw a lot of teams.
What if?
Exactly. I saw a lot of teams trade away. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think that doesn't help your point at all. It's because the better you get, the more you know you need a quarterback because of how good this team is. So say they win 8 games with Teddy Bridgewater, in their mind, they think, okay, well, if we can do better, let's do better. So I really don't think that's like, oh, well, we'll keep Teddy.
I just don't think Sam Darnold's that much better than him, to me.
I think Sam Darnold, I think he's not as gun shy as Teddy. I feel like Teddy won't, try to do the plays that separate the great quarterbacks from the, and I love a Tyrod Taylor. In my opinion, he should be a starter. I love a Teddy Bridgewater. I feel like these guys are starting quarterbacks, and you look at the Broncos situation. Bridgewater, in my opinion, is way better than Drew Lock. So I like them starting at those situations. But if you get a guy, a guy that's going to win you games through the system, or a guy that can go above the system and win you games when the system's not working, I think that's, in my opinion, how the Panthers are looking at it. Like, okay, Sam Darnold can be a difference maker. He can make plays outside of the system. He can extend.
That makes sense.
I think Sam Darnold's a talented quarterback.
He's a different type of quarterback. Donald's more of a pocket passer. Bridgewater can scramble. I mean, you got to realize he's going to be in a different set. He's going to rely more on Christian McCaffrey. So if you take last year and put Sam Darnold in that situation where Christian is hurt, he's going to struggle. But if he has to have, like you mentioned, he has to have that wingman back there to alleviate some of the pressure from handling the game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gentlemen. Charles, before we move on to the NBA part, I know you're about to roll up out of here. But before you leave, we have a question by Ray Cruz. I'm going to let you answer it. Will Father Time catch up with Tom Brady this season?
I'm not Max Kellerman. No. No. He's going to play. You know what? Peyton Manning said it best at the Hall of Fame induction. His first eligibility is going to be 2035, which means he'll play till 2030. That's my bet.
All right. Well,
he'll have another 10 Super Bowls by then, right? No.
I would not be surprised. Well, Charles, that wraps up with our NFL part. I want to thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. You have a good rest of your night.
Do the same. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, let's pick it up to the NBA section. Hey, before we went on break, the finals just wrapped up with the finals with the Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks on knocking out the Jays Phoenix Suns. Congratulations to them. But hey, but that's old news now. We've had the draft come in. We've had free agency come in. We've had trades come in. Um, I know Mike. Mike is dying for us to get to the NBA part to talk about his team. But let's go ahead and give him the NBA hot take. We'll start with Chris on this one.
There's a lot of ways I can go. So I'll save this hot take for another time because I feel like I can say this at any time. Just throw some salt in the wound. But I'm not talking about NBA draft. I really feel like the Thunder put a little mini halt, a mini gash in their rebuilding situation. Yes, you got over 30 picks in the next 7 years. But when I look at this draft, and who knows, drafts coming up can be just as talented. But when I look at the draft right now, what's in front of my face, going into the draft, they had a 6, 16, and 18. They did nothing with those picks. I look at Josh Giddey. Okay, you look at him. He was the best playmaker in the draft at 6'8", but he's also 18. He's also very, very skinny. And you saw he got pushed to the ground, got hurt immediately. In my opinion, you go James Bouknight right there, who's a pure scorer, who's a pure baller. You could have, helped Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out and got another scorer on that team. Then they traded away the 16 pick and went to Houston. They got Shagun, who's a double-double machine, who just did his thing with the Rockets. Well, in my opinion, I don't understand why the Thunder traded him away when you needed a center. You just traded away Al Horford and Moses Brown. 18, they drafted the guy who I said they'd pick in my mock draft. But in my opinion, you don't go with the right player, in my opinion, with the number 6 pick. Hopefully, Giddey proves me wrong. Because you look at a playmaker and you say, okay, Shai can be a pure scorer, but Giddey was a swing pick. He's a swing and it might miss. And, like my guy said, like Kenny said, don't look at Summer League to say, oh, this is going to be that, this is going to be that. I mean, Josh Giddey's first play, he looked, okay, this really could be. His second play, he got hurt. So hopefully he can bounce back. But, you mess up with 16 and 18, I don't know what they're doing here. Because you're not going to be able to sign on free agents. You're going to have to trade everything. And so when I look at the draft right now, you could have easily got some guys to help you for the future. I don't know what the Thunder is doing right now. They need to pick it up. They need to do better because, okay, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but what else do you really have?
All right, Mike, give us a hot take for the NBA.
My Chicago Bulls are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's what and we'll lose. And we'll lose to the Brooklyn Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals. But we're coming. We're here. I don't want to hear anything talk about it. Chicago atmosphere is different when you're at these games. Y'all don't even know about it. Ray's somewhere in the comments right now talking about Michael Jordan. I already know. Man, we're back, baby. If this is fully healthy, I think this team, Zach LaVine is young. Pat Williams is young. Lonzo Ball is 23. Kobe White, young. All these guys, they're dogs. They're young. We have experience. Freddie, who gave us Caruso. I appreciate you. We got the GOAT now, so I think we're golden,
man. I sure hope that do work out for you, because if not, that fall is gonna hurt. That fall is gonna hurt.
That's
all right, Jay, give us a hot take.
Man, all the moving around, the super teams, and I don't think none of the super teams that have, besides the Lakers, are gonna make the finals. So when I say finals, Eastern Conference or Western. So I think the Nets are going to do what they did last year. They're going to be back. I think Milwaukee will be back in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then on the West side, I think it'll be the Lakers. And then honestly, my hot take is Denver is going to be in the finals as well. If Denver remains healthy, Jamal Murray coming back. I like with Aaron Gordon. I think last year they should have been had a longer push, but Jamal Murray got hurt. So I have Denver, Jamal Murray healthy, and versus LA, and then Milwaukee again versus New Jersey.
You got Milwaukee over Miami?
Say that again.
You got Milwaukee over Miami in the East?
I do, man. I think Drew Holiday was the puzzle piece that they needed.
Yeah.
And now that they got him, it's really going to be hard to beat them. Coming off a year of them winning the championship and Giannis playing the way he played, I think next year we're gonna see so much from Giannis now that he's able to shake the haters off. He's not listening. He's not gonna be worried about all that other stuff. I think we're gonna see Giannis just go out and play basketball, and I think he's gonna have a special year. I don't think they're gonna win the championship next year at all. I don't even think they're gonna go back to it. But I think they'll be in the Eastern Conference Finals again and lose to Brooklyn like they should have last year.
Real quick, I want to address this comment by John Suggs. I think the Magic were the losers of the draft. That was one of the worst picks they could have did. They drafted
the best available though.
Yeah, I know he was the best available, but you could have went Book Knight. You could have went Book Knight and Kuminga over going Suggs and Wagner, who I like Wagner, but I think Book Knight and Kuminga would have been better now and in the future. You got 4 point guards, and only one of them can shoot. You know, Michael Carter Williams can't shoot. Markelle Fultz, questionable jumper, and you know I like Cole Anthony, but right now he has 4 points, 1 for 8, 1 for 4. The only guy knocking down shots, and the only guy proven to be a shooter was Suggs. You have a lot of guards right now, a lot of guards. You got to figure out what to do. I thought he was going to go to Toronto, but I love
that's the one that shocked me.
I love the pick of Barnes because he showed he could be a playmaker. Fran VanVleet was a point guard in college, so him going back to his natural position isn't bad. So now you don't have 200-sized guards, and you can look at a guy like Pascal Siakam and a guy like Suggs. and a guy like Barnes and VanVleet. They could just be collective playmakers. All of those guys can play make, so it's not a true issue. I like what the Raptors did. I think the Magic messed themselves up. They at one point in time is drafting straight centers, and it looks like they're drafting straight point guards. They got an issue over there in Orlando.
Yeah, they do. They always lopsided.
All right, Kenny, before you give your hot take, I'm going ahead and give mine. Mine's coming out in the West Coast. Mine's coming out from Portland, though. Portland.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Portland.
Okay.
How about Damian Lillard? Before we took the break, I came on here and I'm saying that Dame will be out of Portland. But just the way when they was in the Olympics, that he was coming out talking. Talking about how, are you back on that bandwagon again, huh?
Whoa, what bandwagon? I was Philly all day, every day.
You told us.
Bandwagon.
He wants Dame in Philly.
Didn't he tell us that he done with Philadelphia? He done with the Sixers. He done with. Didn't he say that?
Yeah, but what team am I going to root for?
Hurt.
Okay,
but what team
I just want to know. You
for?
can go back to yours. I can go back to my.
I came out and said that we have no chance to win anything. That doesn't mean I'm not going to root for him. What the? I'm not like you that jump ship. You're the only person that does that.
That's a receipt. That's just a receipt.
Okay.
Damian Lillard not going nowhere. He's not. The reason why I say that is because in order for him to get out of Portland, he can't come to the media to go, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't request. Like, you can't do that. Either you want out or you don't. Which one you want, Damian Lillard? You seen that your team, your franchise, barely did any moves in free agency. Due to no cap space. Actually, you kind of got worse. You lost Melo, you lost Zach Collins. You didn't do anything to replace those guys. Damian Lillard, you're gonna end up being like CP3. Okay, you're a great player, one of the great point guards in the game today. You're top 3 in talent. Yes, he's top 3.
Pump the brakes.
You don't have Damian Lillard top 3?
No, I was going to say CP3 been on like 5 teams in the past 8 years.
You let me finish what I'm saying. Really, like CP3. CP3 championship window has finally closed. Let's just call it like it is. His championship window has closed. He just signed a 4-year, $120 million contract.
They were just in the finals, Freddie. What are we talking about?
Do you think they're going back to the finals? The Phoenix Suns going back to the
finals?
They
were just in the finals. They were just you got to give them the respect.
He's the oldest guy.
How do we give them respect? No.
The rest of the team is young. That makes no sense.
So what games what does the team got to do to gain Freddie's respect?
It's not Freddie's respect. It's the national. It's world's respect.
When you go to the finals, you have the world's respect. I don't understand. What are you talking about here?
When you go to the I'm glad you said that, Freddie.
So let me ask you a question, Chris. Since you said that, will the Milwaukee Bucks be the favorite to win the championship this upcoming season? Yes or no?
That's respect.
Calling somebody the favorite means you're not giving them respect.
Chris, are they the favorite to win the championship?
No, they're not.
So why don't you give them respect? Because most of the time, just like we talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, since they just got done winning the Super Bowl, they have to be the favorite. Y'all just said that.
Let me tell you why.
Listen,
Let me tell you why.
Time out.
Hold on.
Let me
First of all,
finish.
there's a big difference. One,
Yeah,
the
huge.
Bucks roster is better than anybody in the NFL. So it's not.
And that's what I'm
it's not-
going with the Milwaukee Bucks right now. Is their roster better than any other team in the NBA?
No. See, listen. What? Let me accelerate what he was gonna say because I know he's perturbed with what you just responded with. Now, listen. The difference between that is what he's saying is the roster. You look at that roster in Tampa Bay and see that they won a Super Bowl the year before. You can look at it. Now, Milwaukee, we all know there was other circumstances that led up to them being primed in that prime position to win that championship.
Breach.
Okay, but you're not saying nothing. We still give them the respect for going through that gauntlet and making it out with that ring. However, looking at from start to finish this year, we got teams that have made a lot of trades, a lot of free agent signings. You got Chicago, you got Miami, you got.
And that's why I say Phoenix Suns championship run is over. That's not
all
being
East.
disrespectful.
That was all East. But Milwaukee, you can't disrespect Milwaukee, man. They got the respect in the world.
So let me ask you a question. Would you put your money on this? Would you put your money on the Bucks going to the championship or the next year or the Brooklyn Nets? Which one?
But that's not even a fair
Which
question.
answer the question.
Nets. The Nets.
And so there's nothing disrespectful about
What
that.
got to do with the Suns, though? Like,
There's nothing because we both, all of us know if the Brooklyn Nets, the Lakers, the Nuggets was healthy, the Phoenix Suns and the Bucks was not going to be in that
because
position.
he ain't making no sense.
In that position, we all know that. And Chris knows it too because he said it on this show.
But what does that have to do with respect?
There's nothing disrespectful. When another team is better, that's no disrespect.
No, here's the issue. Like,
Are we
ready
to move on? Because Freddie just goes everywhere. It makes no sense.
We talking about the Suns.
Kenny, teach me. Tell me how this is being disrespectful. I want to know.
Because how are you going to say that their championship window is closed when they have a young Devin Booker, a young DeAndre Ayton, a young Mikal Bridges? It'd be different. If anything,
Finish
you
it,
need
Kenny.
to be more concerned about your Lakers.
No, finish it, Kenny. Keep the same narrative. Keep the same narrative.
Window was a lot shorter than Phoenix Suns championship window. That's what
Keep the same narrative, Kenny. Keep the same narrative.
We're talking about the championship window. The championship window is longer for the Suns because they got a younger core than it is for the Lakers.
Chris Paul doesn't have to play.
Are we sure?
48 minutes a game during the preseason.
When Chris Paul retired, the Phoenix Suns going back to what it was a few years ago.
Can you predict? Oh, so when LeBron leaves, what's going to happen? Because AD's going to be playing 40 games. So what's going to happen?
We got Rusty. We got AD.
Now that DP is gone.
You think they're going to play that long too?
Hey, they got more. They got more longer than LeBron.
Let's move on.
I can't.
They got longer than LeBron.
Next,
LeBron's 32, AD 27.
Next,
let's move on.
So, I mean, you can do your head like that. Hey, you know I'm spitting facts. All right, next topic. I am, you know it, Chris.
Yeah.
Who won free agency?
Facts.
Who won free agency? Kenny, who won free agency to you?
It's got to be the Bulls. To me, they got to, in terms of upgrading their roster and the talent infusion that they brought in, they basically went from a lottery team to a playoff contender. So I think that they're the winners in free agency. But having said that, being a winner in free agency doesn't guarantee you having a successful season because all these moves is all on paper. So we got to see how they all pan out. But in terms of if I had to pick a team that had the best free agency in terms of the moves that they made between trades and free agency signings, then I got to go with the Chicago Bulls.
Chris, who won free agency to you?
I want to say the Bulls, but it really depends on what's about to happen with Lauri Markkanen. He said he doesn't run a return. Yeah. So if you just lose out on him, straight up, that hurts because that's much needed shooting. You need, even though they have shooters, that's much, you still need more floor space. You still need more scorers. So depending on how that works. So, I look at the team honestly like Miami. Look at Miami, and they're arguably going to have the best defense in the NBA. You know, with Bam, with JB, with PJ Tucker, with Lowry, with Victor Oladipo when he comes back. And I like VO signing back there because, in my opinion, if Victor Oladipo isn't hurt, one, they're not going to be the 6 seed. They're going to be 4 or 5. That means they're going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. But two, let's say they are the 6 seed. They're not going to sweep like they were by Milwaukee. Not saying they're going to beat Milwaukee, but Victor Oladipo, what he brought was a guy that's a two-way scorer that can give you 23 plus, and he can score from the free three-point line in, which is somebody Pat Riley wanted. Now, re-signing Duncan Robinson was also a big move. I'm curious to see what they do with that bench. But right now, I feel like I look at the Heat roster and they retooled. They got championship experience. They got the guy that they wanted, and I would say the Bulls, but Kenny already said them, so I just want to talk about a new team. I like what the Bulls did. I did predict Lonzo Ball. On one of my, talking to one of my friends, we did talk about the chances DeMar DeRozan going there, but we thought Lowry would have to be moved in that trade. Now, if they somehow convince Lloyd Market to stay, this is a different team. Because you go from non-playoff to playoff. And I really want to say the Bulls, but Lauri Markkanen in that move could really determine how their season is going to end up.
All right, Jay.
I think those are the top two teams. We're looking at who won. Miami keeping Duncan Robinson and keeping Oladipo are huge. Going out and pulling in Kyle Lowry. Before we look at it, I liked Goran Dragic, but
I did too.
But bringing in Kyle Lowry,
that's an upgrade.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one of those things. It's like you lease your vehicle and it's that time.
With chip experience, he got championship experience too. That's also upgradable part.
Yeah, that going down the stretch in the playoffs, being in those pivotal moments, in the playoffs, in the finals, that's going to bring a certain edge to that team that I think Jimmy Butler kind of needed when they made that last run. He needed someone like that to kind of put the rest of the players on edge, because Jimmy gets in his own. He don't need to talk to nobody. You need to get him the ball, let him go play defense, and when it's time out, he's going to sit at the end of the bench, let him do his thing, because that's the way Jimmy played basketball. But getting Kyle Lowry on there, you got that vocal leader that keeps that level head, that keeps himself in the game, that's able to, conduct the team. So I really like that move. And again, we didn't really get to see Victor Oladipo really gel, really get intertwined with this team.
Played like 2-3 games before he got hurt.
Bro, and let's not forget who Oladipo was before he got injured.
All-star.
You know what I mean? So now you got Bam.
That's the problem, though, to me, is that the injury that he had. Like, I don't know if we'll ever see that same Victor Oladipo again.
I
look,
hear you.
He had like 3. The only reason why I can say I agree in a way is because I feel like he has had 3 injuries in a row.
And that quad
the athletic guy.
I'm
not saying he's going to be trash, because I think we're not asking him. In my opinion, when I look at the Heat, I don't think they're asking him to go back to that level. But if you look at him coming off the bench, being productive, I feel like that's a steal. And if I'm the Heat, I'm saying, listen, do not come back until you're 150%. So that means don't come back till March. I don't need you in January. I don't need you to come back when you're 80-90%. I need you.
Yeah, and I think with Duncan Robinson and with Tyler Hero, they got depth at that position to be able to tell him to take his time, because they got those young guys coming off the bench. So
you got to put him on a minute counter.
Yes,
limit him. I think that his offense, the way he plays, yes, he's athletic, but he's not a high flyer. I think that he can adapt his game to kind of take a step back and from the athleticism, so he doesn't get hurt. Even if he's able to go full-fledged right back into his old form, I think he's going to be able to take a step back to kind of protect that knee, protect those knees, so to speak. But keep in mind, man, Oladipo is a defender as well.
Yep.
We're not just sitting here talking about offensive guy. We're talking about a two-way player, and that's the kind of roster I'm starting to see Miami's focused on. I need guys that can play offense and defense and play them well. So I really like their squad. I really like what they've done the past couple years. Falling off. And that's another thing. When we're going back to that respect conversation we were just having with this knucklehead, does Miami Heat not have any more respect? They don't get the respect either. They took a year off. They made it there. They took it. So you gotta don't forget, bro. It's hard to get there. No matter how you get there. Jimmy Butler's been there. You know what I mean? Kyle Lowry's been there. These guys have been there now. You put them together, that's gonna be a dangerous squad.
Their whole lineup was guys to the finals the past 2-3 years.
Yeah,
they do need a better bench. I still think Chicago has a way better bench. But if I look at that starting lineup, I look at that.
Laurie, if not, that changes the dynamics because you still got PJ Tucker over there. You got Tyler Hero. You got Duncan Robinson. You've got
there.
He's
in Milwaukee.
Yeah. No. Tucker's with Miami. He signed to Miami.
Oh, he signed Miami.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, listen, man.
They got the dog.
Let's not forget, Kyle Lowry fits that Miami culture, that Pat Riley, that Jimmy Butler culture, because he's a dog.
Don't say Jimmy Butler culture. Say the Pat Riley culture. Let's get that.
Yes.
Let's get that.
Let's get one thing corrected. Let's put respect on one man's name, and that man's name is Rob Pelinka. He deserves a hell of a lot of credit. Yeah.
I was waiting to see how long
he deserves. He deserves it. Listen, look, I'm gonna tell you what happened this offseason, okay? You might need to recognize what's going on. He took a Dennis Schroeder. We offered $84 million in the season that he declined it. I bet he wish he didn't do that now. Oh, I bet he wish he didn't do that now. And then he turned in some functional parts, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, and Kyle Kuzma, but they didn't do that much for us in the playoffs, okay? And turned into a player who can give us a triple-double.
Who's a winner, right? Right, Freddie? He's a winner now? He's a winner now?
He wears that layer across his chest.
He's a winner now?
So now he's this great player.
He's a winner,
but last year, Freddie was bashing him.
Y'all said
last year, Freddie was bashing him.
He's a winner. Yeah, he's a winner.
I'm so glad because y'all don't understand how many conversations we argued back and forth.
To see when he was going to get to that. Go ahead.
First, they give us a triple-double, and freaking Russell Westbrook.
I thought he was a stat pattern.
Yeah.
Hey, let me talk, man.
I thought he only cares about his stats and I won it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to let you talk, but all of your
and Russell Westbrook. And Russell Westbrook, bring him back home to L.A., to Lala, to the City of Angels, to the house Kobe and Shaq built, to team him up with our superstar and Anthony Davis, and to team him up with our backbone and LeBron James. And people want to say, how is this going to work? The Lakers are too old. This isn't going to work. Ladies and gentlemen,
Russell Westbrook just a stat
pattern. One question before you continue.
Yes.
Is there going to be any issue with Russell Westbrook causing your team not to win?
No. You know why? Because I believe teams make a mistake when you get Westbrook. They say, Westbrook, we need you to take a step back. No, the Lakers need Russell Westbrook to be Westbrook. LeBron, we need him to be Westbrook.
Which team asked Russell Westbrook to take a step back?
Listen.
Hold on. No.
Let him finish. Let him keep.
We're going to tell him to be Russell Westbrook. Be you. LeBron, and we need Anthony Davis to be our best player in order for us to win. I believe AD will go to the 5. I believe Bron is going to the 4. Westbrook is going to have the ball more in his hands the first 3 quarters of the game. He's going to bring the ball to the post, to LeBron. Let LeBron orchestrate the offense. I believe LeBron's going to be the one to take the step back because he knows what it takes to win. And he knows Russell Westbrook has to be the one to be the high usage to save LeBron when it comes to the playoffs. And I want to say, I'm just going to throw this out there, because I already know this narrative is going to come out there. Oh, the Lakers have no shooting. No, folks, if you don't know basketball, look at the percentages. All the players that we signed in free agency shot over 40% last year, except Trevor Ariza. He shot 35%. Okay?
What about Russell Westbrook? Did he shoot 40%?
Well, I'm not talking about Westbrook. I'm talking about free agency signings.
Okay.
You want to bring that point up, Chris? One last thing. One last thing will be done. Chris, you want to bring that point up? Do you realize that the last time LeBron won a championship with a player who did not shoot the three ball good, that was Dwayne Wade. Do you realize that he shot the same percentage around Russell Westbrook? So don't bring that up. Talking about
D-Wade, Russell Westbrook. Okay,
and do you realize the last two championships that we've countered, that those two
go
teams
ahead and tell the stat that I said in the chat. Go ahead and steal my stat.
Shoot the three ball as good as it is efficient. Just saying, don't you be the one to throw that narrative out there, because yes, I got that information from you.
Go ahead and steal the stat that I said. All I said was you said everybody you brought in shot over 40%. I just said Russell Westbrook. You the one that got ultra sensitive. That's all.
Kenny, you had a question for me?
I have a question for you. A question for you, sir. How is Anthony Davis going to be the best player on the Lakers if Russell Westbrook is being Russell Westbrook?
Because if you realize when Russell Westbrook was at OKC with Steven Adams, he always uses his bigs. He's never played with Anthony Davis before.
Exactly.
He's never. So he's about to go even crazier.
So AD is only going to get inside the free throw line touches. So
he gonna get it all over the court.
Yeah, he's just gonna get layups.
Anthony Davis gonna have his best career this year. He's gonna average the most points he ever had in his career. He's gonna have to book it. Watch.
I am gonna definitely watch, because two things. Your past and your current conversation. There's two parts of this. That your past, just before we scoot into the current, you do
Remind
not believe.
Remind the people, Jay. Please.
You don't believe what you're saying. You don't believe it, because last year, and you repeatedly disrespected this man. Repeatedly said that you basically said he didn't belong.
So he wasn't a winning player.
Now he must be a new player.
Yeah, it's a different guy now. He got different uniform on.
Hey, I don't
it's
believe
royalty Westbrook or something. His name ain't Russell.
You know what? It is a different player. It is a different player.
It must be. No,
you know what? You know who it is? It's L.A. Brody.
See, here we go.
He's from L.A.
Here's the other thing I have a problem with, because I get where you're coming from with Russ running the first three quarters, having the ball more. I totally agree that we have to have Anthony Davis as your best player on the squad in order for them to be successful and actually win the championship. I definitely agree with that. But how is that going to work? Kind of like what Kenny was saying. How is that going to work with him running the ball for the majority of the first three quarters, and Anthony Davis scoring the most points he scored, in his career this year? Where does Bron fit into this?
Bron gonna average his 20 points tonight. Bron gonna get his points in the midst of it. He's not gonna be hunting for his shot.
So you're saying Bron's gonna have the best shooting year of his career?
LeBron is gonna be the glue to this team. He's gonna be the backbone because he knows what it takes to win. He's gonna teach Westbrook how to win. You see there, I told you I'm bringing it on home. I'm bringing it on. Hey, listen to this.
I thought LeBron had no heart. So
I'm about to go there. Chris, hold on. We about to address two problems. Westbrook has heart. Have 100% heart. He bringing the heart to Bron, and Bron's gonna teach Westbrook how to win.
A guy that never won a championship is going to teach him how to have heart. So LeBron never had heart in none of his championships.
Where was the
championship don't mean that, bro.
MVP.
The championship don't mean hard. I'm trying to tell you. Hey,
coming back from 3-1 means you have no heart. Coming back from 3-1 means you have no heart.
Yeah.
I'm talking about right now.
So now you. Oh, okay. I see what it is.
I'm talking about the LeBron.
Okay, you got it. Listen, okay.
Westbrook gonna have 1,000% hard, and LeBron gonna teach him how to win.
Okay.
And once you take the secret serum, you're a Laker. You know what I mean? He took the secret serum when he got off the plane, and now he's a Laker.
Yeah, that's it. All is forgiven now that he's a Laker. Everything that he said in the past is in the past.
But I'm gonna try to keep that same narrative.
We
already know you changed everything you say, Freddie. So why are you still up here lying?
Bron hit Kuzma with the little Men in Black thing, erase his memory before he shut the shit.
Hey.
No, but seriously, all jokes aside, here's what I will say about the Lakers is that what you did say is partially right. That Anthony Davis has to be your best player in order for you guys to win. But in order for him to be the best player, then the other guys are going to have to sacrifice. Well, to me, Russ can't be Russ and Anthony Davis. The two can't work together. Russ can't be Russ, and then Anthony Davis be the best player on the team, because they're gonna have to sacrifice shots. Even when you think about the Brooklyn team, when they brought in Harden, Kyrie had to move over and let Harden run the show. Like, there's gonna have to be some form of sacrifice that comes from those three guys in order for this thing to work. Because everybody can't be who they were and they still be able to be successful. They're gonna have to make some sacrifices. That's just not gonna work.
Hey, and we learned from a mistake with Dwight Howard. We had to get him back too. We learned our mistake. I'm sorry, Chris. We took him from Philadelphia.
I thought he was trash when he left you, though. I thought he was not a good player.
What did I say? I never said he was trash.
Okay.
Hey, but I want to read a quote to you guys, and so we can keep this on film. Keep talking about my squad, our personal ages, the way they play. We're past our time in this league, et cetera, et cetera. Do me one favor, please, and I mean please. Keep that same narrative energy when it begins. That's all I ask. Y'all just keep that same energy.
Freddie, nobody paying you any
Thank
mind.
you, Freddie. Thank you, Freddie James. Appreciate it.
All right, let's move to the next topic. Unlike my Lakers, who lost in the free agency on this upcoming year? Let's go ahead and go with we'll go with Jay on this one. Jay, who lost in free agency?
I mean, if you ask me, New Orleans. I think that New Orleans had an opportunity to kind of make a splash and show Zion that, you know, they are moving aggressively to try to get him a team to work with. Because mistake me if I'm wrong, but didn't he already say he was looking to move around? He didn't want to be in New Orleans anymore.
Yeah, and his family wanted him traded and everything too. Yeah,
and then you go and lose Lonzo Ball. And I think that, you know, is Lonzo Ball replaceable? Yes. Is he replaceable on that team? Yeah. Lonzo Ball wasn't doing crazy things for New Orleans.
Hey Jay,
I don't think that it was a.
Before you go, there was a report that the Pelicans was making rooms for Kyle Lowry and CP3. Like that's one of the reasons why they let him go.
I think CP3 moving over there wouldn't have been a bad thing, but I don't think Kyle Lowry moving over there jumps that ship. You know, jumpstarts that ship up. But I think losing Lonzo Ball. I mean, think of the age, think of the pair, how long they could have grown together. You know, and turned into a mini dynasty, just those two. So there's a lot of things. And you got Brandon Ingram right there, kind of in the same age group. So you got a three-headed monster. You could have grew from the ground up. So I think New Orleans lost this. They let one of their prized possessions go. And let's not forget, they let him go for nothing. They let him go for nothing. There's no way.
Well, it was a sign and trade, but they didn't get, they didn't get equal value back.
Let's be honest, Kenny. At the point of a sign and trade, you lose your leverage is gone. This player,
you're just trying to salvage it. Yeah, I see your point.
You know what I mean? So I think New Orleans really, really, really dropped the ball, and hopefully that doesn't lead to them losing Zion Williams over this free agency.
All right, Chris.
Well, if you ask me, I think they already lost him. I think they already lost Brandon Ingram. I know you say Lonzo isn't this, but Lonzo's the guy that was getting those guys easy shots. In my opinion, if you got superstar scorers, sometimes you need, especially when they're young, somebody to give them easy shots. And we used to laugh, people used to laugh and joke about Lonzo three-pointer, where he was shooting basically 39% on like 8 attempts.
He was in the gym.
So he's become one of the best three-point shooters in the game. And so I feel like losing him, not only are you losing a floor spacer, but you're losing the guy that makes everybody around him better. And, we got to see more from Kira Lewis. We got to see more from, Alexander Walker. But when I watch them, they look more like scoring guards than playmakers. So now you're going to hex, Zion and Brandon Ingram, you two best scorers, and now be your best playmakers. I don't understand. So I'm with you, and I think they're about to lose Josh Hart as well. I don't think he's going to resign. And he's one of the best 3-and-D guys, in the game, especially for his age and what he could develop. I think they already lost B.I. and Zion. I think they might as well just sell the franchise. And they might as well move to Seattle because New Orleans isn't it. But for my team, there's a couple ways I want to go. Real quick, I just want to say, Kenny, You're Knicks. If you didn't sign Kemba Walker, you would have been on my list. I think bringing Kemba it helps out a lot.
Don't worry,
I think
I'm coming. Go ahead.
and I love the Kemba move. That's what I'm saying. But bringing Kemba, I think I like y'all more. But before that, I'm like, this looks like another Knicks all season, just signing regular guys, regular schmegular guys. But Kemba really, I look at their roster and I like it. But I'm going with my Philadelphia 76ers. I think we lost free agency because I look at the draft. I don't understand why you kept the pick and you drafted another guard. So now we got 3 young guards. You know, I look at the fact that Ben Simmons is still on the roster. I look at the fact that Tobias Harris is still on the roster. I don't understand how we got any better. In my opinion, we're probably the 4th seed next year. We didn't do anything spectacular to draft. We didn't do anything spectacular in the all season because all we did was re-sign guys that I was okay. I like Danny Green. I could care less about Furkan Korkmaz because I don't understand where he's going to play. I don't know what the Sixers did to get better. In my opinion, you lost free agency. And you brought back Doc Rivers. That's the worst thing you could have done. He should be out.
Ben Simmons.
He should be out of here. Sixers lost free agency.
You gotta stop, man.
Hey, let's do it.
Doc is a bum. Doc is a bum. Doc is a bum. Listen.
Nah, man.
Doc is not a top 10 coach.
You gotta stop.
When Ben Simmons ain't there.
Doc Rivers blew a 20. What? He blew 20-point leads in 2 straight playoffs with 2 different teams, with 2 top teams, and then he did it with Lob City, and he did it when the Big 3 Celtics after that championship. He was. That's not. I was on the Doc Rivers hype train because my last coach was so bad. Doc Rivers, he's not a top 10 coach in the NBA no more. All he do is blow leads with great rosters. Give me
you want Tobias Harris gone?
I've been saying that for a while. How is a 4th option getting paid $37 million?
Okay, I got a deal for you. We're gonna sign and trade Dennis Schroeder. We'll send him to Philadelphia.
Anyway, let's move on because you talk about the Mr. Delusional. That's why you got the name. You say things like that.
Man, you know who lost free agency? The Golden State Warriors. Yes, the Golden State Warriors. Everybody was expecting Golden State to make this big splashy move. And what did they do? They didn't do it. I mean, they drafted good. They drafted some players in the draft. I understand that. They try to do what San Antonio did. Try to draft and still,
Time out. I got to cut you off. They've been the best drafting team in NBA for the past 12 years.
Yes, they have the last 12 years. But everybody can't be San Antonio rebuilding and still be relevant.
That could be up for debate too because
they're players that won a championship when they drafted.
That's what I'm saying. They hit on 3 guys.
I mean, did they really lose the free agency?
Yeah, they hit on.
How did they just extended the contract back to Steph Curry? They got their main guys. Clay's coming back.
You got Otto Porter.
James, they kept.
Y'all didn't let me finish, so I can't tell you how you took it from me. I mean, I got the ball and he took the ball.
All right, go ahead, Freddie. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead.
I mean, let's not forget Steph Curry is 33 years old. Let's not forget.
But Russ is 32 and he's gonna do all these great things.
You're not hearing me, Chris. Let me talk and let me tell you. You got Draymond Green, who's 31, but his game has dropped off. We can tell that Draymond have not been the same Draymond the last couple of years. Klay Thompson is dealing with that injury. We don't know when he's going to be coming back. Maybe 3 months in the season, what they're saying. And so the Golden State Warriors this year, to me, is hoping that Andrew Wiggins finally turn into this player that we all been hoping that he is.
He had a good year last year, though.
But it's not going to. Yes, and they got Andre Iguodala back. Okay. But listen, I was expecting them to go after Bradley Beal, go after Siakam, go after somebody that can help this team get back into the championship conversation. This team, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, that backcourt is dying to get back in the championship pedigree. These guys know what it takes to win, but we see that you cannot be like that first year LeBron went against Golden State. You with Harrison Barnes. You need somebody in there to help Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, because
only LeBron and Laker fans think that it takes 4 to 5 All-Stars to win a game.
That's what I'm saying.
No, it's not. Don't take 3 or 4, 5.
So then, what do you want?
So do you think this team built right now is going to win the championship?
I think they can easily go to the Western Conference Finals built like this.
Easily. But how do you expect someone to pay
I don't know about
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, who just won a gold medal again. So you saying he dropped off, and then
game did drop off.
Jameis Wiseman. Then you got Andrew Wiggins, and you want him to go get Bradley Beal?
And Jay, you do realize when they had Wiseman, their offense didn't. When Wiseman got hurt, that's what their offense took off last year. You do realize that, right?
No,
then it has to be trade.
Steph Curry went crazy. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You talking about one player going off?
Yeah, Steph Curry went off. When Wiseman went out,
it's gonna take more than just
no
him.
Passing. I'm not passing it. No
You
more.
bring back Wiseman and Thompson. Those are two starters that you did not have last year.
Yeah,
two starters. You have a
way better. You have a better bench. So you think that's enough to beat the Phoenix Suns?
Yes.
So you think that's enough to beat Denver?
Yes.
That's it. No.
Golden State?
Yes.
The Denver has two All-Stars. Barely two. They have one All-Star.
And remember,
a good roster. What are we saying?
I just put them in the finals. I think that Denver will make it. I think that Jamal Murray will come back to jail. But the question, to answer your question, is it enough? Yes.
I don't think they're better than Phoenix.
The conference finals. No, I ain't better than Phoenix.
Who? Golden State?
No,
bro. No.
With a healthy Andrew Wiggins, a healthy Klay Thompson.
You don't know that.
No, I'm
Chris
saying
Paul,
these guys are
Devin Booker, Bridges, Cam Johnson.
We don't know what version of Klay Thompson, the healthy version that we get of Klay Thompson. We don't know what that is.
No, I agree with you.
That's all he has to be is a shooter.
I agree with you 1,000%. We're just going based off what he was. If we look at these guys on paper,
that's what made them great was that him and Draymond was out there being great perimeter defenders. And if he's
that's
not
why
that
you got a
same
Wiggins.
guy, who's with? I don't know Wiggins as being a great defender.
But he's above average defender. He's not no below average defender.
He's solid on both ends of the court.
And that's better than having somebody that's not solid.
My point is that when they were in their finals run, they had two above to all-star caliber defenders in Klay Thompson and Draymond Green.
Well,
I think part of the issue is that they got a bunch of solid guys defensively, and that's why they're in these shootouts all the time. They don't have that same level of defense.
But I think that I see, and this is the only reason why I refute what you're saying, Freddie, because you got to think about money and cap space. You're the only team.
They can make trades, Jay.
Who are they trading? For Bradley
they had
Beal,
draft picks. They had draft picks. They had agent Draymond Green. They could have made trade.
The only pieces that they had that they could have made a deal with, I think, is those two draft picks that they had in this past draft. That's 7 and 14.
But you still need the salary cap.
That's what I'm saying. They could have parlayed that into something, but that they don't really have a whole lot of other pieces that they could have traded, unless you do the sign and trade with
Andrew.
No, the left hand
Kelly
guy.
Oubre.
Yeah, Oubre.
He's gone. Oubre's gone. He's out.
To me, that would have been. Those are the only pieces that you had to be able to make a deal with.
See, Freddie, what would because you just said, well, okay, they can trade Draymond. Well, that defeats the purpose. How
does that defeat the purpose?
Because Draymond is one of those players that he's so quirky.
And he's not the same guy once he leaves Golden State.
No.
He's in a
so let me ask you a question, Jay. Do you think if they made a trade to Toronto for Siakam, you think the Golden State Warriors get worse or better? Better or worse?
Are they trading Draymond for Siakam?
Yeah.
They get worse.
I disagree with that.
Siakam's a Jeremy Grant. I mean, they're like he's not this above average guy.
But even taking away that, even removing that part of it, I think that Draymond Green fits Golden State well.
Absolutely.
It's like there's so many different types of glue, right? Well, this one needs rubber cement.
If they lose Draymond, Steph is not Steph. Because now he got playmaker for everybody. He can't move off the ball so freely.
Thank you. There's so many different things that I think Draymond.
Who's the playmaker if Draymond leaves? Who's the playmaker? It's not Klay. It's not Andrew Wiggins.
Who is?
Mm-hmm.
You brought Iggy back. He can play that Draymond role.
Iggy's not coming off the bench and playmaking.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, let me give my losers. Let me give my losers because I need y'all to let me cook on this one because I get some frustration on. So my losers is my New York Knicks. Like, to me, this was the year where you're coming off a playoff run. We're coming, New York, New York stand up. We hear all that good stuff, all of that goodwill. We're going into the offseason with all of this cap space. And you mean to tell me with World Wide West, with Leon Rose, and what we got to show for it is basically bringing the band back together, just signing back Julius Randle, signing back Nerlens Noel, and signing back D Rose. And this is no disrespect to those guys, but this was the year where this was supposed to be a franchise free agent that was supposed to come in. And I have been on saying that for months. Y'all know I was talking about Kawhi Leonard. I wanted a franchise free agent to come in the offseason, and we didn't get anybody. And there's only salvage is Kemba Walker, who's, and I love Kemba. He's a Bronx guy. I'm from the Bronx, so I love the fact that he's coming back home. But this is not a Kemba Walker at 100%. If this is 100% Kemba Walker, where he's not coming off, 2 injury-plagued seasons, then this would be great. It would have been, be great. But the fact that he's coming in with these question marks, it's like almost the same thing over and over again. It's Amari Stoudemire signing when he's got bad knees. I'll go back to Antoine McDyess when they brought him in with bad knees. It shooks all the way back to Bernard King, man. It's just been the same thing over and over again, and we have not been able to get that franchise guy to surround the talent. And to me, we're just the same team that we were last year with maybe, with a slight upgrade at point guard with Kemba Walker. So to me, we're still maybe a 4 or 5. We're probably in that 4, 5, 6 range in terms of playoff seed. And that's if everything, comes back together. So we lost in the
you got Frontier as well.
Who? Oh,
Frontier.
Yeah, I forgot about Frontier, whatever you call them.
I mean, you're good
he's a
second
nice
round exit.
piece.
You're good
He's
second
right.
round
That's
exit
what I'm
this year.
saying. The best case scenario is we lose in the second round. That's not what we were looking for.
So what's so bad about that, Kenny? Yeah,
Because you got Brooklyn here.
Did you just say what's so bad about losing in the second round?
No, what I'm asking you talking about a Knicks.
Look at my shirt, man.
You talking about a Knicks franchise that has been horrible.
Hold on. This is the last
So
time
hold on.
that there were
Go ahead.
championship players on the Knicks. These guys on my shirt. I wasn't even born yet, man. I'm gonna be 48.
So when the Lakers were going through their bad spell,
I'm a frustrated fan. This is not gonna get it.
You thought the improved season when LeBron first year was any better? When y'all was down bad?
We didn't go.
You want to win. You want to win.
Nobody wants to the playoffs.
You want to win. Nobody who cares.
You want to compete.
But you can't jump like look at Jay.
Why can't you,
Kenny?
Look at Jay here. His team went to the finals, but guess what? He can't be mad, hurt that his team lost. They did something they haven't done.
That's the point. That's the point. Is the fact that they went from not even being in the playoffs to going to the finals.
And so, which expectations?
You just made my point for me.
Exactly.
Football comes to that team, and they go from being a non-playoff team to going to the NBA Finals.
You got to crawl before you
walk.
Wait, no.
The Knicks didn't bring anybody in that's going to cause us to make that jump.
Jay, what's your expectations for the Suns next year?
My expectations for the Suns, we're swinging for the fences, buddy.
Okay,
we've been there, but in I don't understand how you don't get it, Freddie. Like you went from the Lakers not doing nothing to y'all getting LeBron and going to a championship.
And over this summer, you went from losing in the first round to now you got Russell Westbrook.
What I'm saying is,
what do you expect from the Lakers this year?
You expect to compete for a championship, don't you?
That's my
point.
No, it's not.
That's two different stories, man. We already listen. Listen, Jay.
Y'all were a first round exit last year.
Listen, the Lakers already got 2 pieces already supplemented. You Suns already got Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Kenny, he has Randall there, but they need more pieces. You have to crawl.
That is the point he's making. So what everything to go out.
So what are you talking about then,
Robin the Batman.
He can't expect. You can't expect that team.
That's my point.
New York still got to become attractive. You still have that owner down there, Kenny.
But that's the whole thing. Like that was supposed to change. The culture is starting to change. That's my point. Is that the culture?
And y'all didn't. You don't think y'all got better?
You got the coach of the year. You got the coach. We just got slightly better. We didn't.
They're the same team.
That's my frustration is that we're pretty much the same team. We made a slight improvement, but we didn't make a major improvement.
Are they better than the Heat?
With the Brooklyn, in order to compete with the Milwaukee,
they're not better than them
Phillies,
No, don't say
Atlanta.
Philly. Don't say Philly.
With
The
the
Heat,
Atlantis.
the
My point
Bucks,
is, I'm just saying the
and the
top
Nets.
five, the 4 or 5 teams the top teams in the East, they're not on that caliber in terms of a talent level. That's where the frustration comes.
No, they don't make the top 6 teams.
The best case
The
scenario
Bulls.
is the Bulls upgraded. The
I
best
think
case
y'all still
scenario
better
is
than the
Knicks
Bulls,
maybe
though.
get to the
You're
second round.
crazy.
I think the Knicks are
Yeah.
better than the Bulls. Yeah, this Bulls team is a little bit overhyped. Let's stop it, okay? I mean, this Bulls team gonna be good, but it's like overhyping them. Okay?
So if DeMar and Lonzo would have went to the Lakers, would you?
It's two different things. We got LeBron and AD. This team
Okay.
don't, Chris. We just
You
team
know
don't.
how he is, Chris.
Yeah, I
And
know.
who they
What I'm
call
saying is
Jerry
New York have
Okay.
shooters. What
This is
shooters
where
do
we're
the
talking
Bulls
about
have?
DeRozan and Kyle Lowry taking less money to join the Lakers, and you was all hyped about that.
What
He'll
shooting
put-
do?
If Sam Darnold puts on a Lakers jersey, he's the best point guard in the game.
What shooting do? What shooting does the Bulls have? What 3-point? Like, can DeMar shoot the three?
Lonzo and Zach LaVine and Vucevic all shoot the three at 39%.
Well, we gonna see
Kobe's
LaVine
not
and DeRozan
horrible.
work together. Don't mark my word.
Now now you make a point there. That's the only concern I have about the Bulls is that to me, DeRozan and Zach LaVine, they're kind of the same player.
LaVine's a shooter.
But I'm saying in terms of playing that same position and playing the two. So either
DeRozan was playing a four a little bit in San Antonio, though.
I think both of them need the ball in their hands to be effective too.
I think DeRozan
that's
plays
gonna
off
be,
ball.
trying to figure out that chemistry with those two guys because they like to operate and make plays for themselves and for other guys. So
But on their
gonna be the
teams,
challenge.
though, on their teams, who was that person on their team other than them that can make plays for everybody else? DeRozan was averaging 7 assists with the Spurs, and before Lonzo came, Zach LaVine was only the playmaker. In my opinion, now they can just have tunnel vision on scoring, and so you can cut out 5-6 seconds where, let me see if I got to get this guy involved and go straight to their spots.
That's assuming that Lonzo Ball is going to be able to penetrate, make plays, get in the paint, and get guys open looks. I
don't know, man. We might see Lonzo Ball having more spot up jumpers and Zach LaVine cooking a lot more. And
he was doing that with the
Pelicans. A little bit more dynamic.
I think they did that for a reason in New Orleans because I think that's part of the weakness of Lonzo Ball.
You had a trash Eric Bledsoe that had the ball in his hands, and
because
that one of the worst.
Kenny's right. He did this in NBA.
He's a better penetrator. That's why he had the ball in his hands.
Kenny's right. Sometimes Lonzo don't be assertive enough, bro.
That's the problem. Lonzo Ball does not. He's not the guy that's going to. You put him in the ball screen, and he's going to break his man down and get into the paint.
But with him shooting the way he is, and Zach able to do that, I think that we're going to see it's going to gel well. I mean, Zach is a high flyer at the end of the day as well.
No doubt.
So he has every part of what you need to be an offensive superstar.
He already is an offensive superstar.
Yeah, now once you score 27 a game, then that's on another level.
I can't put you as an offensive superstar until you make a run in the playoffs with it.
But you want 27.
So
27.
Devin Booker was considered an offensive superstar before he made the playoffs.
Yeah, not too many guys.
Devin Booker.
He scored 70. He scored 70.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. He had a trump card. Chris, you know that one dude that they taking passwords and they need tickets to get in, and that one dude
and Freddie
walks up and
moved the
goalposts
to make it fit your narrative every single
whispered
time.
in the ear like.
Anybody that averages over 25 points a game.
All right, y'all. Let's move to the last topic for tonight, real quick. It's gonna be this version of the Rankum since we got the big threes. Which big three do you think is going to win first? Do you think it's going to be the Brooklyn Nets, or do you think it's going to be the Triple Bs in Los Angeles? We'll go with Kenny on this one.
Wait, ask the question again.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Which one? Who's going to win which big rank the big three?
Which one's better?
Yeah,
the
Nets or the Lakers on the Triple Bs in LA.
Oh, I'm Brooklyn. To me, Brooklyn has one reason because they've already played together. They've already figured out the chemistry and how they're going to play off of each other. The Lakers are still they're gonna have to figure that out on the fly this year. So for that reason alone, I'm giving Brooklyn the advantage. And then also the other thing is in terms of offensively, you got three guys that have no weaknesses offensively. They have no weakness in their game offensively. You got three guys that have no weakness in their game offensively.
Yeah.
We have with the Lakers, you got LeBron kind of struggles at the foul line. Westbrook struggles at the foul line. Sometimes Westbrook can be inefficient. Probably AD is probably the one guy that out of those three that has no weaknesses in terms of offense. He can score from anywhere in the court. But the other two can be a little streaky at times. So for that reason, and the fact that they play together, I'm going with Brooklyn.
All right, Jay. You want Brooklyn as well?
Yeah. I mean, it's an easy answer here. I think if we're just comparing the big threes, we're talking about top two at their positions, each one of them in Brooklyn. So, and that's arguably top two at each one of their positions. I mean, Kyrie's right there, top two, top 3 point guard in the league. James Harden, you can't say anything other than him at his shooting guard position. And Kevin Durant is arguably he's top two in his position as well. So, I mean, outside of that, you look at LA and I will jump on you through the screen if you sit here and tell me that Russell's top two as much as you bashed him last year.
Even top five.
Russell's one of my favorite players in the NBA outside of Devin Booker, but he's not top two on his position. LeBron arguably top two, Anthony Davis arguably top two. So, but looking at that, Kenny made a great point. There are no offensive deficiencies on their big three. Absolutely none. They're all playmakers. They all can shoot. They all can, lead a team. So I think that Brooklyn, a lot of the same things that Kenny did say. They already played a year together. They've already been seasoned. They're ready to go now. And I think they will win a championship before LA's big three gets another one.
All right, Chris.
This is tough. I mean, both of them. I mean, you talking about all NBA, first team all NBA guys. Guys that AD should have an MVP. Kyrie is the AD and Kyrie are MVP caliber players. Like I said, all NBA guys. This is tough. I mean, I look at the Lakers. You could say maybe they're better as far as both ends on the court. I mean, AD is obviously the best defender out of everybody. LeBron, when he wants to, is an above-average defender. Same thing with Russ. When he wants to, his athleticism makes an above-average defender. But like you guys talked about, that offensive end, how are they, scoring the ball? AD, he has inconsistency problems, but he can score on all three levels. LeBron, his free throws kind of hold him back. And Russell, I mean, we saw what he does in the playoffs. His shooting goes out the window. I look at the Nets, and I called this from the jump. People said they weren't going to work together. I said, you're crazy. KD can play off the ball. Kyrie played off the ball the year when he was going to the finals. And James Harden can play on and off the ball. He just played with Russ. He played early in his career with, Russ and KD. So if you're asking me, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Nets. The fact that they have played together. And it's tough. It's like 51-49%. But this is kind of how I look at it. They have no offense. They play together. They can all score 60. They can all give you 60 points and 10 assists. KD is an above-average defender. People, used to make fun of James Harden on defense, but James Harden is just as good as the defender as Russell Westbrook. I mean, let's be real. James Harden had Giannis on him and said, don't double, and was slowing him down with one hamstring. That's a fact. And I'll post the clip. Kyrie is not the best defender, but he's giving you 60. But you look at it, let's say you go 2-2, right? You got KD and Harden, and you got AD and LeBron. Okay, the Lakers might have the edge. We talking about Russ and Kyrie. Those guys have to be the difference maker. Lean a little bit more towards Kyrie than Russ. That's a fact.
That's why I said they're top two in their positions, man.
I'm just saying, Freddie Lakers guy, when Russ, like he's been doing the past 5, 6, 7 years, goes 3 for 20 in a playoff game. Let's see how you feel when you answer this question.
Yeah,
nothing has changed because he did it with KD. He did it with James Harden. He did it with Paul George. He did it with Bradley Beal. And I understand LeBron is LeBron and AD is AD, but Russ is going to be Russ. He's going to be aggressive to a default, and I love him for that because I love a guy. He's not going to stop. He's 0 for 7. He's going to go play 0 for 30. You're going to get what you're going to get from Russ, and I respect it.
If he gets a rebound and turns around and he sees a clear path to the basket,
he's going, and we love him for that. And that's why. But it's 51-49 because I do think the Lakers' big three could be so dominant 3-point line. Then nobody's going to know what's going to hit them. They can dominate the paint. But for me, it's 51-49. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the Nets.
Chris, you brought up a valuable point. And I must say this, my friend. You made a very valuable point that I think the world you need to hear this point. You said Harden and KD versus LeBron and AD. The Lakers have a little bit of edge. But when you said Westbrook versus Kyrie, you said you give Kyrie the edge. And 100%. I 1,000% disagree because guess what? Westbrook is just giving you points that he's scoring. He's giving you points off of assists that he's getting other teammates points. He's giving you rebounds. So I have to give Kyrie's not doing that.
I've seen Russ get a triple double and go 3 for 20 and lose them the game. So,
but guess what? And then you mentioned this too. Oh, Westbrook had this teammate. Then we all question James Harden, Kevin Durant's leadership, Paul George's leadership.
No,
I don't think LeBron James.
Who's we all?
The whole world.
Not I.
I've not heard of LeBron's leadership being questioned.
You said he had no heart though. So why would I go with a guy that has no heart?
That's hard. Leadership and heart.
How do you win? But how can you win without heart?
If you ain't got a heart to keep going,
maybe somebody else in your team have heart. Somebody else in your team have heart.
If you the leader, hold on.
Wow. How can you lead without heart? How
Exactly.
can you teach somebody to win?
Yeah.
How can you teach somebody to win? So this is how I know you never been a leader because you can't be a leader without having heart. You can't teach somebody how to do something without having heart because to have heart means you've done it before and when the times was hard,
Chris, who taught LeBron how to win?
What?
Himself?
No.
He was winning with a trash team in Cleveland.
Dwayne Wade taught LeBron how to win.
He was winning with a trash
Miami.
He went to the finals at 22 with no all-stars, no other good.
But who
players
was
around
afraid
him.
of the moment? And who held him accountable? Wasn't it D Wade, Melo, and Kobe all them at the All-Star game holding him accountable?
So LeBron is going to make Russ Westbrook.
Year 19, LeBron has no heart.
Yeah, he's gonna make him change. So
hey,
Russ is going to change because of LeBron. If Russ didn't change,
I have all y'all picks on the phone. I'm coming. Hey, keep that same energy when it starts. That's what I'm coming for you.
Wait, hold on. I got a question.
Wait, let him finish why the Lakers are better than the Nets. Just finish your case.
Oh, why easy? Okay, listen. If I was the Brooklyn Nets, and I know this is going to hurt Kenny because there's close ties, but this is a smart basketball movement. The Nets have no depth. They have no depth at all.
Whoa. Okay, no,
they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Okay, let's bring up their roster. I bet you. I don't think this dude's been paying attention.
Signing back Blake Griffin, signing Patty Mills.
I just don't get
a guy that Freddie wanted the Lakers so bad. He's talking about, there's another rumor. Patty Mills to the Lakers.
We got better.
This is my thing, guys. This is my thing. Freddie, I would have kind of shut up and just kind of went with what you said if you hadn't have bashed Westbrook for 8 months.
That's what I'm saying.
Now that he's on your squad,
you can't now defend him.
Hold on. Now that he's on your squad, you're gonna put him up against Kyrie and say he's better. But when I was telling you, like, man, he just needs help. Man, leave this dude alone. I mean, who goes out there and gets 13 rebounds, 11 assists, and 25 points? He's a stat pattern. You know, now we fast forward and you got him, and he's better than Kyrie.
LeBron's going to teach him how to win. That's all he needed. Somebody teach him how to win.
Who taught him in the last 3 months since he got signed?
LeBron.
Oh, in 3 months.
Oh, it's all it takes.
LeBron's going to teach him how to win?
Yes.
You must have been sitting in his practices. We ain't seen
LeBron. Hey, listen, man. They went to LeBron's house and they say, "Hey, listen, Russ, Man, you went.
What they have for dinner?
You lost in OKC tacos. You lost in OKC. You lost in Houston. You lost in.
So you're saying every loss was Russell Westbrook?
No. I didn't say that. No.
Oh no, not no more.
Now you in LA.
6 months ago, they was all Russell.
Now you in LA.
Exactly.
You back at home.
When they was just playing, everything was Russ's fault, but now it's not his fault.
Chris, you know that I never.
Let's wrap it up. Listen, Freddie. This signal means let's wrap it up because we're not trying to hear your back and forth nonsense anymore. You go back and forth because if Russ went anywhere else, you'd have said that was a bad move. You'd have said he can't. If he'd have went to the Clippers, you'd have said they have no chance.
Yeah,
beating the Lakers. So let's wrap this all up. I'm tired. I'm not trying to hear your nonsense no more. Kenny's looking at this. Kenny's looking at the screen like, man, this dude Freddie has no idea what he's talking about. Jay hates arguing with you because he knows you have no idea what you're talking about. For everybody that listens to Freddie and you think he knows what he's talking about, and he said, "Oh, we all scared of him." He lost to all three of us in debates. So how can we be scared or pay attention to nonsense he said when all three of us 3 different times beat him in the debates? Freddie, I respect you trying to defend your team, but you can't now defend your team after you bash 2 of the guys that you say are going to help your team win.
Ladies,
we're not trying to hear that.
We got a new category. We got a new category for what Freddie says. It's called Freddie Facts.
Freddie Facts.
There's facts only in Freddie's mind. And no one.
We gotta do a segment.
Anytime you start talking crazy, when you hear us say Freddie Facts, then you understand.
Hey, Chris wanted to bring up the debates that I'm 0-3 debates. Yes, I'm 0-3 debates. But next time I'm gonna ask for some more judges.
Yeah,
I wasn't a judge on your last debate, and you still lost.
It was the judges. It's
all
everybody else.
Freddie Facts.
Like Chris said, let's wrap it up.
Freddie Facts.
Like Chris said, let's wrap it up.
Freddie Facts.
Man,
hashtag Freddie Facts.
Man, hey, you can catch us this Thursday. The same time you see,
Facts in the life of Freddie.
I can't stop laughing. This Chris said Freddie Facts. And you guys have a good night, man. Hey. Play.
Mr. Delusional.
Roll the credits.